Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're just going to do another review of velocity banking with the emphasis on, hey, in a society where most people are broke, you can actually be rich. And I was reading this statistic here about how a whopping 90% of millennials have regrets about buying their first home purchase in 2024. 90%, look, take a look at these YouTube videos. 90%, 90%, 90% have home buyers regret. And to be honest, a lot of this seems kind of made up because that seems like a very large or high number. But, and the reason why it seems made up is because every time I step outside my house, it seems like everybody is living a better life than I am. Doesn't it seem like that? Like they seem to have a lot more money and they seem happier. And then you kind of see like, is this even real? But it probably is. Because I know how most people are. They're like fake it till you make it. You know what I mean? And you know what the sad part about this country is? 90% of people in this country can't qualify for a mortgage. Okay? So that means you have a 10%, only 10% of the population who can do so. And then, so if let's say those 10% buy homes this year, and obviously not all potential homeowners will buy, but we'll just say 10% do, then 90% of those 10 people will regret it. It is the craziest thing. And so sometimes I think ignorance is bliss. And so whenever I step outside my house, it's like, yeah, you are living the good life, right? You're living it better than me. But I know people are just faking it because that's what the society we live in. Fake it till you make it. You know what I mean? But here's the other thing too. If you learn these debt management strategies and know how to manage your cash flow, you'll be in my position. And this is a very strange position that I never thought I'd be in. You take a look at this. This is a home that I paid off under 3 years. July 29, 2024, paid. Maturity date, 2051. So I got the home in 2021. Here's my second home that I bought in 2022. So 332,000, bought it for 210, bought it at a discount. $165,000 is the current or the latest balance. So if you take do a quick calculation, 332 minus 165, I have over $167,000 of equity in this property, and it hasn't even been 2 years since I bought it. Like, isn't that crazy? So I got one paid off home. I'm probably paying this off in about like 2 years or so, two and a half maybe, and then I'll probably be like, right now I have over $500,000 of equity, so maybe like in, I don't know, I'll probably be a millionaire soon if I buy like two more homes. I don't know, and then here like I got too much credit, so the bank's not going to give me credit because I have over $527,000 in credit. I have no savings, but people freak out about that because like, oh my goodness, you don't have 3 to 6 months of savings. It's like, dude, that's the reason why I feel rich, or I'm actually rich and not making a lot of money, and then poor or broke. I don't know which one you want to use. After all expenses are paid because you carry too much debt, right? Take a look at this: $280,000 in a home equity line of credit, 15,000, and so I remember a long time ago when I first came to Atlanta, I only made $20,000 a year, and I was like, how the heck am I ever going to get through this? Because I was just sharing a room, like I could barely afford the $400 a month room share I was doing, and I don't even know why I came to Atlanta. I'll be honest. I think I just got sick and tired of living in California, where everything seemed like this kind of facade, and it's kind of what I'm talking about, like the whole facade that everything looks great, and I'm like, am I the only person like broke here? You know what I mean? Or I can't even find a job. And so I just came here. I came to Atlanta, and I was like, whoa, like eventually I did get my foot. Um, I did get a handle of what to do. Like I got my foot through the door, and then it's just like, okay, paid off home under 3 years, and I'll pay this one off in like, I don't know, 2 point something, three, and I'm better off than the 90% of the population already. And this is a rental home, so like the tenant's payment really covers this, and then I got like 300 something dollars coming in from YouTube and some other income sources. It's like, bruh, like life is like, I don't even know how to explain it. Because it feels like every time I try to explain stuff to other people, at least in real life, most people are not listening, right? Now, I know when it comes to YouTube, we have a select, an audience that chooses to be here, right? But when it comes to my real life, I always just feel like maybe people aren't listening to me because like they already have it made and they're doing better than me. You know what I mean? But they're not, or at least the internet says they're not. But I know how people are because it's like a fake it till you make it thing. But why not actually make it instead of just faking it till you make it? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. All right. All right, let's get to it. So let's just do velocity banking, another review. So, what is velocity banking? All it is a debt payoff strategy using a line of credit as your main operating account. So, two things to do velocity banking. Number one is a budget. Your budget is your debt attack plan. You list your income, you list your expenses, and then you left your savings, and you have a column called the average American. Okay? Now, under your expense breakdown, you have to list every single debt that you have. And on the last line, anything that's not debt, food, gas, insurance, right? You could also include escrow, property taxes, property insurance here, because even after your mortgage is paid off, you still have to pay those. So you include this in this line, right? And, if you pay it once a year, you just divide by 12 and include it monthly. Or that's what I would do, right? So, our goal is to pay off all of this debt, 2 credit cards, 2 auto loans, and a mortgage. And so what we're going to do is we're going to assume we have the same income, and then we don't have any savings, right? So this is the part that freaks out most people because they're conditioned by our society that you need 3 to 6 months of savings in an emergency. And if you are totally broke, then Dave Ramsey's first step is you must save at least $1,000. Okay? But what if we could get to our destination of being debt free without saving money? That's the whole point of velocity banking, and you use the help of a line of credit to get there. Okay? Look at this. 0, 0. Beginning, the end, nothing. Because it's all going to debt. All right? So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to copy our expenses. Okay? And then we're going to have something called cash flow, which is really income minus expenses. And you might be thinking, wow, this is the same thing as your savings. Yes, until we do step two, which is making our line of credit as our main operating account. Okay, what's a line of credit? All it is a financial tool where you can borrow money, pay back, and then use it over and over again. A line of credit. So if you take a look here, I have a $280,000 home equity line of credit. So what does that mean? Basically, it's like a credit card based on the value of your home. Okay, so I could go to the bank's website, click a button, and then I'm going to borrow $280,000 into my checking account if I need it. Now, I would never borrow $280,000, but I would just borrow whatever I need. Maybe $10 here, $10 there. I got a credit card payment here, $500. Oh, I get my mortgage payment. Yes, you can pay your mortgage from your home equity line of credit. It's pretty cool. Okay, and a credit card is also a line of credit too because you can pay it back, use it, and use it over and over again. Unlike a loan, which is a one-way street. Okay, this auto loan, if I dump in this $1,000 into my auto loan, it's gone, right? We don't want to do that. We want to use our line of credit because it gives us ultimate flexibility, and we want to use either a home equity or a personal line of credit because we can use it to pay anything. If I use this credit card as my line of credit tool, even though it's a line of credit, they have restrictions. I can't use it to pay auto loan or mortgage unless I'm using plastic, and I can't use. And here's a crazy thing, right? If I have a $630 bill from a credit card, I can't just pay the credit card with itself, right? But if I have a $630 monthly payment from a line of credit, I literally could withdraw $630 and then pay it back, and that monthly payment is satisfied. That is the coolest thing ever. Nobody had ever taught me about that until I started learning about velocity banking. Okay? All right, so now let's go ahead. Now let's assume, all right, we have a line of credit, and we want the biggest one ever. So I'm not going to say we need 280,000, but let's say we have access to a $40,000 line of credit. It could be a home equity, personal, whatever. We'll just say home equity, right? So what we're going to do is increase this cash flow number by moving some of our debt. And here's a hint. Move your credit cards usually that aren't 0% into 0% interest rate and the short-term buy now, pay later loans into that line of credit, and you're going to increase your cash flow usually. Okay, so let's go ahead and move these, right? So that's $38,000. So that's 38,000. Okay, and so what happens with the $38,000 when we just move it to the line of credit? 0, 0, right? So we literally went from $1,000 to $2,300 in an instant. This is the mind blowing thing I've ever seen. Okay, this is the most mind blowing thing. And then the last step, which is like the final part of velocity banking, is to put your entire paycheck, 6,200. Doesn't matter whether you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, whatever, monthly. You put as soon as you get paid, your checking account should be at zero because you transferred it into the line of credit. Basically, you made an overpayment with your line of credit. And so this goes here. You take your expenses out, and then the cash flow, this will be used to reduce the balance of the line of credit. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Okay? And then so it's the next month's balance is based on the previous month's balance plus the previous month's interest minus whatever our current cash flow is, 2355.79. Okay? And then what we do is we take the average daily balance. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Take the average daily balance because that's what the interest is based off of. And you got to multiply by the interest rate, which is 0.085. Okay? And it's 3,000, and you'd be freaking out. I was like, I paid $3,000 of interest in 1 month, but luckily, it's 8.5% annual, and if you divide by 12, that will give you the actual interest paid. So 260, not bad, right? All right, so let's go ahead and copy and paste these formulas, and we're gonna go ahead and do that. And now, let's see here. We see here that in 18 months, whoopsie, in 18 months, we got this all paid off, right? 18 months. So now let's just mark this right here as a milestone. 18 months, 38K. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. And now we have our two auto loans. So the 16K is probably a used auto loan. So let me just kind of go here. We have our auto loan calculator, right? And we just have to write the current month, and then it'll show us. And actually, I probably screwed this up. So if we write what the current month is, it's going to show us the current balance of the loan. Okay. So let me go in here, and where are we? Where are we? Oh, 18 months. Okay. So 18 months, and now I just got to put 18, 18, 18, right? And so now you take a look here, we need to pay off these two auto loans. And why are we comfortable paying off these two auto loans? It's because if we pay them off, we get a 700, almost $800 of cash flow back. So if you want an explanation of how we determine which ones to put into line of credit, or which debt we put into line of credit, look at the cash flow index. Basically, think of it as a ranking system of debt. And if you have it under 50, that's a good candidate to be able to put into the line of credit. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste, or actually we'll just sum it up. So it goes G2 plus G3. And so we're going to put this 29 grand into that line of credit. So let's go ahead and do that. 29 grand. And I'm going to copy and paste. And all right, so let's move that right here. Plus 29408.61, right? So we're just moving the two auto loans into the line of credit. And then so once we do that, guess what happens here? Holy balls. I don't know if that's the right words to say, if it's appropriate for kids, but look at that. Now we're at $3,000 of cash flow. Holy balls. All right. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to increase this cash flow. So 3145.99, right? That's going to be our new cash flow. And let's see how long it takes to pay off these two auto loans. What? 27 months? Ooh, that was less than a year. So two auto loans paid off less than a year. That's pretty good. That's pretty bueno. Oh my goodness. Okay. So now 27 months. 27 months. And then now it's 38 plus 24 plus 16. So 78K. We are 78K paid off in debt in 27 months. That's pretty good. That is extremely, it's a little bit more than 2 years, okay? So now we pay off our mortgage, okay? 27 months. Excuse me. Now let's go ahead and go here. And then, so currently we're in month 27. So now with our mortgage, we just kind of, here's the thing. We have a 3% mortgage and the payment's not that big, right? That 1054. We have two choices. We can think about investing in real estate or just pay it off now and then invest in real estate later. Either one is perfectly fine because here's the thing about investing in real estate and having to be a landlord. If you don't know how to do landlording correctly, you could lose a lot of money, right? You could lose a lot of money. And that's why there's so many tired landlords because there's too many people out there who's like, oh my goodness, like I just gotta, you know, I'm gonna get passive income. And, you know, you'll see videos a lot nowadays about how passive income as landlording is a lie. Now, here's the thing. I love landlording, right? Because I can't even remember that I have a rental house because it really is passive income if you know how to do it right. But I think for most people, the safest bet is really just paying off the mortgage, right? And you get that extra $1,000 of cash flow, but it's probably going to take us about a couple of years, maybe 5 to 7 years to get it back, right? Now, there's two ways that we can use to pay off this mortgage. Number one, okay, number one is just making extra direct payments into the loan. So we have this $3,145. We can pay the $1,000 mortgage, and on top of that, $3,145.99 into the loan. And that's a perfectly viable way of overpaying the loan. But the problem is nobody ever is ever going to do that, right? Nobody, because the loan is a one-way street. The loan is a one-way street. So when you dump all this money, you can't get it back. And you know, again, what we're trying to do is, we've done the debt in payoff in the correct order. That's one. But number two is we have to make sure that we make it easy to pay off this loan. And we're going to do that by not segregating our incomes. You see, the reason why we got here is because we segregated our income. Segregation. We went over that in another video, but I might have to go through another video of that. But okay, so the point is this: we want to make it so easy to pay off our mortgage that we could dump all of our money in, and we have no problem with the liquidity, and we don't have to think about it, right? Because the problem with most people is that if you give them too much to think about, they freeze. Okay, like most people don't really understand. This is why nobody will ever pay off their mortgage putting their savings directly into that loan. Nobody, because there's too much to think about. Because if I need that money back, what do? Okay, let's use a credit card as a backup. Okay, now I've segregated my income. Okay, so what we do is, and again, this is just an easy way of paying it off. It doesn't mean you have to use this. It's just move some of the principal into the line of credit and then just pay it off with your cash flow. Make it easy on yourself. Do it over and over again. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, that's cool, man. I'm just saying this as a person who paid off my mortgage pretty quickly, that when I first did it in my first year, I paid off 25% of my mortgage with a line of credit, with the help of a line of credit, and it was really easy. And I have to think about it. If I did not know the strategy, I know that I would have just been like paranoid. Like, oh my goodness, should I put that my money into the loan? What if I need that money, right? You know what I mean? And here, same deal. I'm paying it off quickly. I'm paying it off quickly. So I'm using the same strategy with two homes. Okay? And I'm not saying you got to do it, but I'm just saying I'm doing it. Okay? So let's just move. Let's say, I mean, where are we right now? Where are we? 27, 28. So we're at 238 right now. Let's just move $7,000. So this is going to be 231. $7,000 into the line of credit. $7,000. All right. So let's move 7,000 into that line of credit plus 7,000. Okay. Now, how long does it take off to pay off that $7,000? Whoa, 2 months. That's crazy, right? 2 months. That blows my mind. Now, let's see how long it takes us to go to 231. So let me remember this is 27. So 30, uh, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. 41? I'll say 41. 41. So what's 27 minus 41? 41 minus 27. Okay, 7. 14 months, that's two. Wait, is that 2 years? No, I'm doing it. That's, wait, hold on. Set 12 plus 12. That's more than 1 year. And we did it in 2 months, right? So easy peasy. That's basically what this is. It's called chunking or chopping up your mortgage or blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's literally called blah 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 blah. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. It's actually called chunking. So that's basically what we do here. And the thing is that if we do it this way, it's very hard to estimate the payoff, and I'll tell you why. It's because you're still making the monthly payment, so you are paying some of that principal every single month with that monthly payment, along with um, eliminating the principal in the line of credit. Okay, so let me take out my velocity banking calculator. Handy dandy. Give me one moment. All right, so here's this handy dandy velocity banking calculator. And I got this from Renatus again, so I always mention it because this is where I first originally learned velocity banking from. And if you want to get this calculator, just enroll to be a Renatus student. I actually sell their education or resell it, and I get a commission off of that. So just kind of doing a quick plug right here. So now let's take a look. I just plug in all the stuff and all the material, deets about the loan. And so here's the most important thing, and here's what the internet might tell you to do to replace your 3% mortgage with the line of credit. So it's 231,501.84. Take a look at that. 5.9 years and 40 grand of interest, okay? But if I just do $7,000 in chunking without replacing my mortgage, I only pay 18 grand. Isn't that insane? So I don't know why the internet keeps saying replace your mortgage to line of credit, but we don't have to do that. And you can see here that it only takes us 5 years to pay it off, which is pretty good. That's pretty sweet. If I paid off my mortgage in 5 years, I'll be honest, that would make me ashamed because I paid it off under 3. But if I were the average person, that would be pretty sweet. And again, I'm just kind of humble bragging. All right. So I guess that's what you do during your spare time if you're mortgage free. Just make tons and tons of spreadsheets about how you're mortgage free. All right. So let's go back to the other velocity banking thingamajigger. All right. I can't even think anymore. I don't know. It must be my brain fried with Sunday. So 27 divided by 12 plus 5. That's 7.25 years. Okay, 7.25 years I'm debt free. And so that's 78 plus 258. 78 plus 258. So that's going to be $333,000 I'm debt free. Debt free. Isn't that pretty sweet? So I am totally debt free under 7 years, including my mortgage. And it took me 5 years to pay off that mortgage, right? 5 years. So pretty good. Now I don't even know what to say just because, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I guess, like, sometimes when I stare at this, I'll be honest, this doesn't look real to me. And what happens is that, like, I get really excited to share this stuff in real life. And one of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel is because too many people were giving me blank stares. It's like, hey man, look at this cool stuff, debt payoff strategies, real estate investing. Oh, we're gonna be rich, and people having no interest. I don't even know why. Do you feel that way in your life? I feel like, I hope I'm not the only one that way. And I feel like the audience who watches this video is not like the typical average person, you know? Like the typical average 20-year-old is struggling. Like you watch like Instagram and TikTok, and there's countless videos of people just freaking out because of inflation and not being able to make it. Now, I'm not saying that this solves inflation. It definitely doesn't. But when you have less debt payments, then like inflation doesn't worry you that much, right? Like as long as you know how to manage your cash flow and debt, like I don't really worry about inflation. And again, I'll probably eat my words in like a week when the whole country breaks down and we're in a we're I don't know, in a riot or something or civil whatever, right? But even this one, I'm like, bro, like how do I have a 50% equity position in less than 2 years? 11 2022. Right now it's like 10 2024. So we got a couple more weeks till the 2 year anniversary of this property. But I honestly can't believe that I have this much equity already in a paid off house. This is insane. I don't feel rich. I'm going to be honest with you. But and he's like too much available credit. Ah, yeah. So it's just me, but just playing around. All right. Well, that's it for today, everybody. Have a great day. It's Korean Atlanta Mentorship. Just another financially free Sunday. I want to say Friday, but today's not Friday. But it would sound better with Friday, but it's not. But it's financially free Sunday. All right. Have a great day, everybody.